for all these guys because we're that close.
Right, but Jack, the other factor, of course, is the cooler it is, the more fuel they use. So it is much cooler than last year at this point, so they will use a bit more fuel.
Well, power, we're talking about power having to save fuel. There goes Carpenter on the outside of him. So is that because he's saving fuel and just going backwards, playing that game? You can't get sucked in and say, oh, man, I can't have him pass me and I gas it back up. You got to stick to what it is you have to do to save fuel. Period.
And I think what Weldon has to do is do whatever he can to keep the lead, whether he uses fuel or not. If he's in the lead, he's not going to give it up. And he's now saying, come on, baby, we need a yellow.
On board with Will Power, that is Ryan Hunter-Reay up ahead of him. And Danica Patrick is very close to Will on the back end of the car. Down to Robbie Floyd with more fuel strategy. Sorry, Lindy.
Yeah, real quick, Bob, I just went up to John Barnes. He's a little too busy at the moment to talk to us, but I said, are you good on fuel? And Robbie Floyd, he shook his head no.
Yeah.
Last week he was saying, hey, you let me worry about that. I want to ask the question to Chip. How good is fuel for Dario Franchitti? How much concern is there?
Yeah, I mean, right now we're going to need a little splash, I think. So I don't know if we can make it the whole way or not.
How about the car? If everybody's on equal terms, do you think this could be a car that can win this race?
Yeah, I mean, the car can win. The car can do it. I mean, we got to see what shakes out here. A lot of race to go yet.
Dario Franchitti, maybe a splash and go. Maybe a yellow comes out. There's still plenty of race to go. This is only lap 164 of 200.
Well, we're hearing it from the horse's mouth, though. Everybody seems to think that they're going to have another splash and go pit stop if we don't have a caution before this is over.
Pretty consistent across the board of everybody thinking that.
Dan Weldon leads at the moment over Franchitti, Andretti, Kanaan, and Carpenter with 165 laps completed.
The Kentucky Indy 300 on Versus is brought to you by Mazda, Zoom Zoom, Forever. And by IZOD, the official apparel sponsor of the IZOD IndyCar Series, available at Macy's. And by Peak Performance Products. When you peak, you win.
It started with two simple words, and now it's time to join in. Announcing the Claim Your Mazda Summer Sales Event. Enjoy the high resale value of Mazda 3, Mazda 6, the driver's alternative to Camry and Accord, or the 7-passenger Mazda CX-9. All available with 0% APR financing for 60 months, plus no monthly payments until November 2010. So why compromise? Claim your Mazda. Offer ends August 31st.
Select IZOD IndyCar driver. Driver selected, Marco Andretti. Select race transport. Mission, finish first. The fastest drivers in the world. See who wins at racetotheparty.com.
Feel the excitement? That's peak performance. And it's electric.
Look out. Be sure everybody's safe with the new Peak backup camera system. With the Peak Jump Starter, you don't need another car to jump your dead battery, so there's no waiting. And the fun never stops with the Peak Power Inverter. It instantly converts your car's battery power to household power. Great as a mobile office or for tailgating.
Inside, outside, all around your car. When you peak, you win.
Cleavage, striptease, innuendo, they're all cheap tricks that distract from GoDaddy's award-winning services. We're the #1 domain name registrar in the world. GoDaddy is where TNA stands for Timely Assistance.
All right.
Whew. It's time to focus on GoDaddy's round-the-clock customer support. So who's ready to paper the town with GoDaddy's new values campaign?
Yes!
Yeah.
All right, yeah!
See more now at GoDaddy.com.
Weldon in the National Guard car leads Dario Franchitti for Target Chip Ganassi Racing, running first and second, and we have less than 30 laps to go.
And Bob, all these drivers are hoping for yellow except for one, and that is Helio Castroneves. Remember, he came in, he topped off twice.
Yep.
They rolled the dice. He pitted 3 laps later.
And that could be enough.
That would be the deal maker for Castroneves.
But Jan, I just checked with Tim Cindric. And I think everybody is just as confused as maybe we are, trying to work the numbers. Checked with him. He shook his hand and said, well, we're going to be that close. Checked with Mike. And also Mike Hull with Scott Dixon, because you know how good he is at making fuel. He's not at all happy. They have run the numbers 5 different ways, and he's going to be short a lap, too. Let's check in with Robbie.
5 different ways, but Sunday, Jack, I've been doing my super sleuth method up and down, and everybody looks like they're going to have a splash and go, except for Rafael Matos. I heard that the number 2 car, if everything keeps going, he's the one car that will not have to splash and go, is the number 2. So watch out. Is today the Dragon and Farron Racing? Maybe they take their first win today.
Well, hang on a minute.
Ryan Hunter-Reay is on pit lane.
Matos pitted on 144, which is the same as the leaders, so I'm not sure that's the right call for him.
Well, let's see what happens here as they continue to run very close up front. Tony Kanaan running 4th. There's Danica Patrick and Scott Dixon. Man.
Surprised to see Ryan Hunter-Reay come down. Okay, there's something going on in the right rear.
Right rear.
So, you know, he had fuel to stay out there longer. You heard a little lifting right on board there with Carpenter as we're looking off to Tony, and Tony goes by just under that little breathe.
Carpenter has led 10 laps tonight. It's Marco Andretti. By the way, the 2011 IZOD IndyCar Series schedule is going to be released on Friday, and we urge you to check in with IndyCar.com.
Oh, sorry, Bob. Danica just had a big-time wiggle. Whew, that was a close save.
Didn't lose a spot, though. Well, there we go. Anyway, this date is going to the first weekend of October next year here at Kentucky. But there is an addition of a very popular racetrack, we hear, to the 2011 schedule. Check it out Friday on IndyCar.com. Let's look at that wiggle again by Danica Patrick.
On the low side. Has a car just in front.
Oh, my, yeah.
That got Scott Dixon's attention.
Yeah. Well, and it was that car that came across her bow that took just the air off of it and just made it move around like that.
All right, 21 laps to go here at Kentucky Speedway. Will Dan Weldon hang on for the win?
Story about a man with a car and a job, a wife and a kid, and his name is Bob. Just a regular guy with a regular car, but it's what he rolls on that makes him a star. His Firestone tires are known far and wide. The way they perform gives a sense of pride. That's Bob's story. He ain't no liar, because everybody knows the legends ride fire.
Legendary drivers need legendary tires.
IndyCar Nation, why aren't you a member yet?
Follow me behind the scenes.
Free timing and scoring. Free live video streaming. New and improved member benefits. The best IZOD IndyCar Series content anywhere.
Visit IndyCar.com and join IndyCar Nation today.
Only real car guys could have come up with this.
One product that cleans wheels and tires.
Keep your wheels and tires looking great.
Looking great. Looking great.
With foaming all-wheel and tire cleaner from Others. Just spray on, hose off, and that's it.
It's really that easy.
A unique spot-free rinse with no need to hand dry.
At Mazda Americas.
At Foose Design.
At MHT Wheels.
At Pirelli Tire North America.
We all agree.
Nothing performs like Mother's foaming all-wheel and tire cleaner.